Hi, welcome back. My name is Carson and this is my space where I chat about knitting. And today I have a full-blown knitting podcast for you. We have a full finished object, we have some whips, half-finished object, we got some stuff in here. So settle in. It should be a good, nice, long chatty one because as always, I'm a mess. So settle in and let's get rolling. Okay, so today we're comfy, we're cozy as always. It was 50 degrees outside this morning, which is insane. I don't have a knitted top on, but I do have some knitted socks on. I'm not going to show you because I literally can't get myself in that position at this moment. But yes, we got my fun knitted socks on, just some basic socks, vanilla socks, keeping my feet nice and toasty. I looked at our thermostat this morning because I was freezing. I mean, it was 50 degrees outside, which I haven't stepped outside in a few hours, so it could be hot again. I don't know, but I'm comfy in comfy clothes in my own home. What I was saying is I checked my thermostat and it was 63 degrees in our house. So my feet were freezing and I put on these socks and it just warmed them up. They're nice and toasty. Okay, so that's it for what I'm wearing. Just, casual as always. And I do have a finished object, so let's get started with that. I guess it has been a while since I filmed. We have been traveling all of October, I will just say this, and I tried to be good. I tried to film some episodes, and I did in advance, but last week was a no-go. We were so exhausted. I'm still exhausted, so I'm sorry if I'm rambly or if I can't get sentences out or if I just look dead inside. If my eyes look dead, it's because I am. Because I'm tired. I'm so tired, but I am also excited to chat about knitting stuff with you today. So what I was saying is I feel like I haven't knit that much because we've been traveling so much on the weekends, and usually the weekends are my days to just sit and knit and chill. But that has not happened. We have been scrambling, which has all been really fun stuff. We had a little family reunion last weekend. I don't even remember what happened the last weekend. There's just a lot of stuff. We're going back this weekend. So yeah, we're gonna be gone for a while. So I know before I pronounced, I was like, Wednesdays are my days. And yeah, maybe. I might have to take another break next week. We'll see, but maybe I'll get more knitting done by waiting a week. Anyways, I feel like I hadn't knit a ton because we were on the road. And I do like to knit on the road, but once we're hanging out with family, I don't really knit that much. Because I'd rather hang out with family. So I feel like I haven't knitted a ton, but looking at all this stuff and comparing it to my last podcast episode, I got some stuff done. So my first finished object, without further ado, is another Sunday morning baby romper. Oh gosh, let's see if it'll focus. I can't tell. Yeah, so it's this little guy. So small, so tiny. I love it. So yeah, I'll put the designer up here because I cannot for the life of me pronounce the name, but it's the Sunday morning baby romper. This is my second time knitting this pattern. I did not make any modifications to this one, I don't think, besides the sleeves, which it wasn't even that major of a modification. I like my sleeves to decrease in the middle, and there was only a few decreases, so I kind of swapped the way the pattern told me to, and I just did it my normal way that I always do. Not a huge modification. And yeah, I just used regular long tail cast on for all the ribbing and regular bind off even for all the ribbing, just bound off in pattern. No fancy Italian bind off for this one. But yeah, and I love it. I knit this one in Barocco Vintage DK in the color Pumpkin Spice, which I'm sure you can see is very fallish. And I knit this one in the size 1 month, 1 to 2 months. There's a newborn size, and then there's another size. It's 1 to 2 months or 1 to 3 months. I don't know. I could look. I do have it in my notes. I can look. Okay, so this time I did the size 1 to 3 months. And then the last one I did, if you've seen any previous episodes, I made one that I don't have with me right now. But I modified it to be a short sleeve version, and it was fingering weight instead of DK. So it was a little looser, thinner, not thinner, well, it was just looser gauge, more like breezy, and this one is cozy as can be. I don't know if you can tell, but this one's cozy. It's DK, and use the recommended needle size, both of them. Yeah, I just love it, and I love the little romper. Like, I love that it's a raglan, but then you also get to do fun stuff down here. And I got these buttons. I really can't remember. Just local craft store, like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or somewhere. I wanted to get ones that were wood, and I don't think these are wood, but they look like wood, so I'll take it. And then I like this little feature. It has another button in the back. There's another little button in the back, so you make this like crocheted chain and then weave it back in so you can like unbutton it over the child's head, so it'll fit over whatever size head my child has. Hopefully a small to normal size head. Anyways, so yes, I cannot recommend this pattern enough. I feel like I don't knit that many patterns twice, I will say that. And this is my second one to knit, and I loved it still. The first one I knit it so fast, and this one did take me a minute just because I was working on other stuff too. And I was like going really hard on the baby knits for a hot minute, and then I just kind of like stopped and took my time, but I think that's okay, and I think that's fine, because actually we don't have that much longer left. I think at this point in time we have 8 weeks left, which give or take. And I don't know. I'm kind of panicking about, not panicking, but I want to knit him all the stuff. Like, this freaking suit came out, I think it's literally called the Bear Suit by Knitting for Olive. I'll put a picture up here since I'm talking about it, going off of whips or whatever I'm talking about for a hot minute. There's so many things I want to knit him, and the Bear Suit by Knitting for Olive is one of them. And it's been published in different languages, and so I've been like looking for the English version, waiting for it to come out because I knew it was in testing, and it just came out, and it's so cute, and I want to knit that. I think I do want to knit him just a plain Jane sweater with his name on it. There's still a few things I want to knit. I picked out like a bonnet on Ravelry. I want to knit him. We got a lot of baby knits that I want to knit, and I just don't know how much I can knit in 8 weeks. Plus or minus, you know, like we don't really know. Anyways, I did complete this one though, and I'm very glad. This is probably the smallest thing I've knit him, although I will say it doesn't feel that small. Like, I don't know. I don't know what size my baby will be, but, you know, hopefully he'll fit. I guess I'd rather be too big than too small, but I do want to like bring him home in something that I knit. So I don't know if I should knit him something else that's like newborn size. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyways, I love this one, and I think that's all I have to say about it. I mean, if you got a baby or a child in your life, or someone you know and you want to knit them something, highly recommend this. And this designer has a ton of really cute kid patterns. So anyways, that's that guy. Okay, on to the next one. I don't even know what I want to start with. I guess I'll start with my socks. Okay, so that was my only finished object. This is a half finished object, and it is in fact a sock. So these are my September wood socks from Olivia by This Handmade Life. Look at this super pretty detail. They're leaves. And then, yeah, I don't know what else to say. These speak for themselves. I love them. I think I was just on the cuff last podcast, maybe. And I'm pretty sure I spent an entire day on this sock, like the last weekend we had to ourselves before we started traveling. I think I spent a whole Sunday on this sock. Yes, because I told myself, I said, today is sock Sunday. So that's what I did. I made a sock. I didn't knit the whole sock, but I did get through the lace work, which is really fun, very engaging. And then I made it through the ribbing, and then I did this like within a couple days. So yeah, it has, like I said, it has this really pretty lace work. It starts out with ribbing, goes into lace, more ribbing, and then you switcheroo the ribbing to do different ribbing for the foot. So it's like fun contrast. And yeah, I mean, I love them. I blocked this one. She's ready to go. She fits perfectly. I love all of Olivia's patterns. So yeah, I recommend this guy a lot. I'm using fingering weight yarn, sock yarn. It is from Tenderfoot. Do not know the color, I'm sorry. Threw away the label long ago. I should keep my labels. I do now, but past Carson did not keep her labels. But I can't remember what I said about this beforehand. I don't remember. I did have like a slight hang up with going into the cuff. I like thought there might have been a mistake, and there was, and Olivia was very nice, and after I emailed her, she fixed it. She updated the pattern. So sometimes I just second guess myself. I'm like, am I like, should I email this person, you know? Am I doing this right, or am I doing it terribly wrong? But in this case, yeah, she did change the pattern, so pattern's all good to go. I did do a different ribbing for the instep, because on my size I found that the ribbing specified, I don't remember how many knits and purls. I think it called for like 3x1 ribbing or something. I found that with the number of stitches on my instep, it didn't match up, so it would be a little bit off, if that makes any sense to you. So I think, let's see, I did 2x1 ribbing instead of 3x1 ribbing on the instep, and that worked out for me. So I don't know if that was a me mistake, or if people just knit 3x1 and it's a little bit off for that size, I don't know. But I ended up doing 2x1 because I like it to be even and cohesive, even though you probably wouldn't even have been able to tell. So yeah, that's all in the instep, and then it's just straight stockinette for this part, whatever this is called. So yeah, it's fun. I like this one a whole lot. And so I've gotten this far on the second one. Yeah, I finished the first sock in like 3 to 4 days because I had a whole day of weekend knitting, and then I knit on it solely in the morning and at night for a few days, and then I cast it on the cuff for the second one, but then I slowed down. Oops. Wow, everything is falling. I slowed down because I started working on other stuff, but yeah, so got a little cuff. I still have a few more rounds to go ribbing, then I'll move on to the lace. And I don't know if I want to cut the lace work up. I don't know. Sometimes I get not bored because it's very engaging, but sometimes I have trouble starting and stopping lace. Like, I think I'd rather just do it in one sitting. So maybe that's why I'm kind of going slow on this, because I haven't had time to just spend a few hours on it. But yeah, I took all my knitting with me on our, I was about to say road trip. It wasn't really a road trip. We just went back home. My husband was on a camping trip, hunting trip for a whole week. So I decided that I wanted to stay with my parents for a week. So he dropped me off in my hometown back in East Texas with both my dogs. And I brought all my knitting with me. And that's why I got this one done, is because I ended up just knitting on that one and nothing else. So I did bring these socks with me, but didn't touch them. So I did get some knitting done that week, but like not a lot. But I did get a finished object. So, you know, did what I did. And that's that. So yeah, I highly recommend this pattern. Highly recommend it. Just do it if you want to do it. It is Socktober, y'all. It is Socktober, and I feel like I've been slacking in October. Kind of. Because I've just been gone so much, and I haven't knitted as much. But it is Socktober, so if you want some good socks for October, here you go. It literally has leaves on them. I do want to finish these and have them both done by the end of October for sure. So I need to spend more time on the second one. But I know once I get through to the foot, usually after I get to the gusset, then everything goes really fast. Or the gusset decreases. Smooth sailing, so. That is that one. Let me take a hot break for a second. Okay, so much stuff. So my second work in progress is my husband's sweater, or hoodie, I guess I should say. So here we go. We have a panel, not a full panel, but still working on it. But this is the start of my husband's Fishbone Pullover by Martin's Story. And yes, I've talked about this one a little bit. I didn't know it was seamed when I got the pattern, which is my fault because it literally said it in the pattern description. All on me. But he chose this one and I bought the pattern, so I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Some of you in my last podcast were like, can't you just like adapt it to be in the round? And like, I'm sure I could in a different state of mind. Like, y'all, I can barely get words out. You know, I can barely think these days, so I cannot adapt a pattern at this point in my pregnancy brain stage. There's just no way. I can't think. Even sometimes I try to look ahead at this pattern, like for the hood. I've never knit a hood before. And I was looking at the instructions and I was like, oh, I don't know about this. And like I was looking at the seaming, how to make up seaming. And I was even like, oh gosh, like I don't know about this. But right now we're on panel number 1. So this is supposed to be a Christmas present. I feel like I'm flashing back to last year when I was knitting the halibut sweater. Or trying to make that for Christmas. And you know, I still need to go back and rip up the ribbing on the halibut sweater and extend the body. I don't know if I'll get that done. I don't know. I should, because he would wear it then, but I don't know. I feel like he's gonna wear this one a lot more compared to the halibut sweater. He's gonna wear this hoodie a lot more compared to the halibut sweater because it's just more his style. Like, he wears hoodies over sweaters for sure. I think once this guy is made up and perfect, you know, I think he'll really, really, really like it. So I'm excited about it. And I was getting not frustrated, but it was just taking so long. Like, I've been working on this at night mostly. Like, whenever we watch TV and stuff. Because it is really easy. I don't have to look at it. You know, just knitting, purling at this point. Until I reach, like, a certain length, and I think I'm halfway there. But I mean, I've worked on this guy for at least 2 weeks, maybe longer, maybe 3 weeks. I don't think it's been a month yet. I don't know, but I looked at it and I was like, I feel like this should be working up. For as much effort as I'm putting into it, I felt like it should be working up more. Like, it was just going very slowly. And so I ended up putting a progress keeper right here, this bright blue baby, last week, maybe last Monday, just to see how far I would get in the week. And I knit on this mostly in the car, actually, on the way to our hometown area again. And I got a lot done in like 3 hours. I mean, that much. So I think I'm gonna keep tracking my progress with stitch markers just to motivate myself, because when I take it out, it feels like I've done nothing, you know? So yeah, I'm just knitting steadily on this baby. I do enjoy the yarn. I brought it with me because I knew I wouldn't remember. It's Eco Merino DK Cascade Yarns. It is undyed merino wool. I think the color is doeskin. So yeah, it's almost, I wish it was a little bit warmer. I mean, it is kind of warm. It looks like an oatmeal-y color right here, but sometimes it looks more gray. I mean, I know my husband picked this color out and he likes it, so it's for him, it's not for me. But you'll see in a second when I pull out my next whip. I'm knitting a few things in this color, and I think I'm just kind of tired of this color. Like, I need a little bit of warmth. I really want like an oatmeal or something. Not the food oatmeal, but like the color. I wanted something in more of an oatmeal-y warm color, personally. Even, I don't know what I'm gonna cast on for myself, but anyways, that's this. And I have like 10 balls of this, and I have a feeling I'm gonna have way more left over than I actually need. So I don't know what I'm gonna use with leftovers, but I guess I'll worry about that whenever we get there. Okay. Whoops. What else to say about this guy? Honestly, that might be it. Yeah, you'll probably see a lot of this guy because I want to get this done for Christmas, and I told myself October. I think initially I was like, October I can get both panels done, and I don't think that's gonna happen. I think maybe one panel, because I think I have to do like 40 something centimeters, and this is like 22. I think maybe I need 44 before I start shaping for the shoulders and armholes, so I don't know. I was pretty confident at first. I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this in September, like easy peasy, I can get this done in time for Christmas. And it's like October flew by. It's almost the end of October, which is crazy. So I don't know. We'll see if I get this one done in time for Christmas. We'll see. Those are my intentions. That's all that matters, right? Is my intentions. But I'm not gonna say that it's not gonna be done because I don't want to manifest that energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that. It's up in the air. It's up in the air. Okay, so this is my last whip, and it is another sock. So this is actually a test knit. Let me show you. Let me make sure I say this right. Okay, so these are the Hawkins socks test knit, and they are for Sarah from Denim. I want to say this right. I don't want to get this wrong. Sarah from Denim and Rain Fibers. She has her very own YouTube channel here on the YouTubes, and she's very enjoyable to watch. I highly recommend watching her, and I think she already has a sock pattern or two published, but these are her Hawkins socks. Let me just push all my colored ends in there. So yeah, it's like a very vintagey tube sock, almost, kind of style. And I think the inspiration comes from Stranger Things. Could be wrong. I don't actually watch Stranger Things, so I don't know. But I want to say I've heard her say that. And so yeah, I told myself, I've been seeing lots of really cool test knit calls out and about. Lots of fun ones for sweaters and even scarves. I mean, a ton of test knit calls. And I told myself, because I really love test knitting. I love test knitting. I love doing it for like indie designers, you know. They're just fun and personable, and I want to support them. And their designs are so much fun, so cool. So I really enjoyed test knitting, but you know, I'm like, okay. It's like, Kristen, you're pregnant. You know, you're pregnant, your body's changing. So I don't know if it would be fair for me to like apply for a test knit when my body's fluctuating so much, you know, because I know they want their sizes to be accurate. That's literally why you're test knitting. So you can like test knit sizes. And I guess my fear was that, I don't know, that I would test knit a sweater and like, I guess I could put it on someone else. I don't know, I just felt weird about applying to test knit sweaters because for one, I don't even know what size my body is anymore, you know? And it's changing, and I know it'll go back at some point. But anyways, I was very tempted. And you know, maybe, I'm sure people who are pregnant test knit all the time. I just didn't know. I didn't know. And I also told myself, I was like, you're making all these baby things, you don't want to be stressed with deadlines. So I told myself the only thing I will test knit is socks. If I see a really cool sock pattern coming out, because I've been obsessed with socks, as we all know. So I was like, if socks come out, that's what I want to test knit. And so Sarah posted these socks, and I was like, oh, perfect for one. I won't say a ton about this pattern because obviously it's not out yet. I'm working on my first sock. But right now it is DK or worsted weight. So I'm doing mine in worsted weight. So that's the thing, they end up super fast. So I was like, yes, like this is perfect for me. It's like a faster test knit. I only need to get one sock done by the deadline, which I definitely can do. I would like to get both socks done by the deadline so I can wear them. But yes, this is another reason why I have not made a ton of progress on my second September wood socks, because I'm working on this guy. I want to get this guy like done well in time for the deadline, because me and deadlines, I get very stressed sometimes. I can be a procrastinator, but recently, I think because I do like a deadline schedule for work, I've been getting better about not being a procrastinator, because you know, if you do things whenever you first need to do them, then you have lots of extra time and you're not stressing. So anyways, enjoying these guys. I am knitting mine in actually stash yarn that I had. I was very proud of myself. I did not buy new yarn for this. I had this in my stash. So this is, all of it is Baracco vintage, because we know I have a ton of that. from past projects, from recent projects. I have a ton of Barocco vintage, and it's worsted weight. And I don't know the color names, but I can just show you the colors. So this one actually is a leftover. This one's a leftover from my sweater number 11, I think. She has so many numbers. Whichever favorite things knitwear sweater I did, that's what color that is from. And then this is from my Gregorius sweater that I will likely be ripping up, and I'm going back and forth. I've said I'm gonna do the champagne cardigan, or one of Petite Knit's cardigans. I don't know anymore. I might make the baby bear suit with that. And then this, I had this in stash, and I had like a full skein of it, and I remember getting it last year for making hats, and then I never made a hat with it. And then I picked it up because I knew I had it in stash. I wanted to make a cut, like I wanted to use it in this sock. And I weighed out, all my grams of yarn. And I had way less of this one. But then I remembered, I was like, oh yes, I made Ollie's bear hat with this yarn. So I've recently done a project in this yarn, and I still have more left over. So I will be knitting the toe in this color as well. So yeah. There we go. I'm on to the heel flap. Yeah, I'm on to the heel flap. Did that a little bit this morning. But yeah, these guys are flying. They're flying. I've never knit a sock this long before, I will say. I mean, it's definitely reminds me of a tube sock. It's like a very long cuff. I don't know how long it is actually. I mean, I think the longest I've ever knit my socks, like the leg, is 6 inches. And this one feels longer than 6 inches, but I think it'll be the perfect cozy house sock, especially after experiencing the freezing floor today in our home, which I am all here for. I'm all here for that. So yeah, that motivated me to start really working on these again, because I knit all of this, like this whole entire ribbed leg in a day, like in between meetings, in between notes, in between working, which never happens for me. I'm usually working all day. I don't know if it was a slow day or what. And I was working all day, but it's just like any free time I had, I was doing this. And so I got all that done in like a whole day. And then I've been slowly getting back to working on it. So yeah, Hawkins socks. Be on the lookout for this pattern release. I think my deadline is sometime early November, but I could be wrong. It could be earlier than that. I don't know. So I'm not real sure when these are going to be released, but I will keep you updated, and I will definitely have a half-finished object by the time the next podcast comes out. But maybe I'll have a whole finished object and I can show these bad boys off. So I'm liking them. But yeah, this is what I meant by I'm making things in this color. This is totally different yarn, but it looks kind of similar to this color. Anyways. So yeah, but I'm really liking them, and they do kind of remind me of Reese's in a way. And maybe that's just because I'm pregnant and a little hungry, but these color choices do remind me of Reese's, and that was not intentional. And then someone in the test knitting group said they reminded them of Snickers instead. And I was like, wow, I must just be really hungry and craving some Halloween candy, because that's what happened. But I'm really enjoying them, and I like them. They'll be super cozy, like camp sock. I've been like imagining going to like the river bottom and and like getting cozy around a fire and making s'mores, and I just, that's what this reminds me of. So perhaps one day. So yeah, I guess let me double check. I guess that's all my works in progress, but I do have some acquisitions, so I'll be back. This is my acquisitions. All my sock yarn babies. So yes, I think I mentioned either in my podcast video or my sock patterns video that I bought a few skeins of Cascade Heritage, because I've been really wanting to make some colorwork socks. And I just don't have that many solid colors. I have a lot of, well, I guess I do. I guess I do have some solids. But why not buy more? Why not buy more? It was my birthday recently, so that was my, oops. That was my, so I told my husband, I was like, don't get me anything, I'm buying some sock yarn. So yes, I got 5 skeins. And I will say, they look pretty different in person than online. Of course, you know, online, they give you names. And on the tag, they just give you numbers. But I bet I could pull up my... These are dropping like crazy. I bet I could pull up my order and see all the names. Because that would be helpful. Because yeah, some of these, I got them from... Let me pull up where I got them from before I say a very wrong name. This was a debacle because I bought these and one of them were out of stock, so they had to wait for them to order more to get to the store, and then they shipped them out to me. So it was a few weeks, which was fine. I was in no hurry. But they shipped while I was at my hometown, which is 3 hours away. And so I wasn't going to be here for a whole week. So thank goodness my husband's coworker came and picked up the yarn for me and put it in our home. But yeah, so I was worried. I was like, oh my gosh, someone's going to steal my sock yarn. Not that anyone around here would care about sock yarn. Who knows? Maybe it's a hot commodity. Maybe there's some sock yarn thieves out there on the run. I don't know. They didn't steal mine. It's fine. Gosh, I'm dropping all of this. There's too many. It's getting harder to bend down. Okay, so I ordered it from Wool & Company. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can even show you the right, which they're not that off. So yeah, I originally bought all this because, you know, there's a lot of really pretty colorwork socks out there, like the toadstool socks for one. And then after I bought all this, I realized, I was like, Carson, you only got oranges and reds, really. Like, that's all you got was oranges and reds. And you can't, I mean, I could mix them and match them, but I really needed to get like a dark green or some different variety because I don't know. I'll show you. So, okay. I got one that's called Pumpkin Spice. Very appropriate. This one's probably my favorite one. So this one is Pumpkin Spice. And yeah, this one looks like the picture. I guess they all kind of look like the pictures. But I guess I just didn't remember what I ordered. So it's very pretty. I could do lots of stuff with this. And then I was thinking I could also make... I've never made... I was about to say a shawl, but I wasn't thinking a shawl. I haven't made that. But I've seen lots of really pretty mini shawls. Like, I know Sari Nordley... I always say that. Sari Nordland has some mini shawls that are kind of like bandanas. So I've been seeing some of those pop up recently, and I think doing that fingering weight yarn could be cool, along with like mohair or something. So yeah, I really like this color. And then I got, this is the one that, it says it's blood orange, but it looks like Christmas red. And it definitely looks more red on camera than it is. But yeah, it reminds me of red, which I think will be perfect for, you know, mushrooms. Be a great mushroom color. But even because this one looked different from online on this site, and it looked totally different like on another site, same colorway. I thought it would be more orange, but that's okay because I do need a mushroom color and that'll work. This one is a latte. It looks like a latte on here, but it kind of comes off purple in real life, which it's like a neutral purple, kind of neutral latte color. Still pretty. Okay, this one also is more red than I would have imagined, but it's called Cinnamon. And it is like a reddish orange. It kind of reminds me of what I knit the baby romper in, like a red orangey color. So that's Cinnamon. And then this one is Macadamia. You know, every time I get sock yarn, I always get like oranges and reds and or variegated colors or self-striping colors, but I never get just a plain cream or a plain white. So I made sure to get this one. It is creamy, so I really like this one. So yes, that's all my acquisitions. I got all the sock yarn. I have not caked them up, obviously. I have not used them for anything. I've been saying I still want to knit the Magic Toadstool socks, and I do. I just trying to figure out my priorities right now. I don't know. I got a lot of different stuff to do. Lots of stuff. But I definitely want to get those 2 socks off my needles before starting more socks. So we don't want to get in the habit again of making 1 sock and stopping. We're not doing that. That girl is gone. So yeah, let me look at my notes to make sure that's all. But I think that's it, y'all, for all the knitting stuff. I think that's it. Wow. So I mean, yeah, I haven't knitted a ton over the past 2 weeks, but that's okay. There are ebbs and there are flows of life and knitting. Sometimes you're hanging out with family and having a good time. Sometimes you have downtime and you're chilling with your husband and knitting all day on the couch, you know? That happens. We're gonna be back again this week, which is exciting. We're having a baby shower, which I'm excited and nervous about. I do not love being like the center of attention, I guess, which is odd because I'm making a podcast and I'm talking to the camera right now, but I'm like alone, so it doesn't feel that weird. So yeah, that's why I'm mostly nervous, but it'll be really sweet, really fun. Everyone's so nice, so that'll be a good time. Yeah, we got a lot going on. We're gonna be back for weddings in November. We will be home for Halloween though, so I'm excited to go buy a bunch of Halloween candy and, you know, obviously give it out to trick-or-treaters because we live in a neighborhood now and we might have trick-or-treaters. We have never had those before. And I'm excited. I'm gonna get all the candy and then if they don't come, I'll just eat it. I'll just eat it. It'll be fine. So yes, and I'll probably knit a lot that weekend. I don't know. We'll see. I have been having an itch. So I've been saying I want to cast on the champagne cardigan with my orange yarn that's in my socks right now from my Gargoria sweater that I'm ripping up. So I've been saying that and I have the pattern, but I have not cast it on. And your girl bought another cardigan pattern because I was like, you know what? So the baby bear suit, I want to make that for sure. Well, I don't know. It depends on if I have time. I don't know. I think if I make that, I want to make it in the newborn size or the smallest size because it'd be like a really cute like coming home outfit or I don't know. I keep saying this, I have not made him anything newborn size yet. And I've been thinking about, I mean, I know it's not that important, but like, do I want to put him in something whenever he comes home, for we bring him home? Like, I know it will be a core memory. So do I want to knit him something for that? I know Petite Knit has some like coming home suits and so do other people. But that's been on my mind recently. And I definitely want to knit him another hat that he can wear home. I know newborns just wear hats in general, right? I feel like every picture I see of a newborn, they're in a hat. So I want to knit like a bonnet. I just got a pattern for a ribbed bonnet and I could use my Knitting for Olive Merino for that because it's on his head, not his body, or he might vomit or, well, not vomit, but hopefully he doesn't. I don't know. I know babies spit up. I know they're very messy. They poop. But, you know, the head could be protected. The head isn't, I mean, I guess you never know. Anyways, what I'm saying, I was thinking about using that orange / brownish yarn for the baby bear suit instead. Instead of the cardigan for myself. Because it calls for worsted weight yarn. And I have some. And it's Barocco vintage. And I'm already using that for baby stuff. So like I know it'll be a good choice. I don't know. Oh, and so getting into that. So I was also like, hey, but I've been really wanting to knit a cardigan for myself. And I've been having the itch to cast one on recently. But I'm telling myself something has to come off the needles. Like one of the socks has to come off before I cast it on. But I bought my favorite things knitwear. Oh gosh, there's a million. There's literally, she has I wish she would come up with names for her stuff because she has a lot. I feel like she's gonna, well, I guess you can't run out of numbers, but it'll be like sweater number 110, you know, because she has so many patterns. But gosh, dang it, let me find it. What did I just buy? I should know. Cardigan number 7. I bought cardigan number 7 because I have my very first sweater that I've ever made is partially ripped up, and I think I could make it out of that yarn, which I would have to split because I did it in 2 strands of Feeling Good. No, I did it in 2 strands of Wonder Fluff, and I would just need 1 strand of Wonder Fluff for the cardigan, which I do have a few skeins that are left over that I haven't used yet, like maybe 4 skeins that I never even opened of Wonder Fluff that I had got for that sweater. So I could start off with those and see where I get, and then unravel what I need to. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make that. But I just said I don't want anything else in this color right now, and that's literally this color. I mean, I know it would go with everything. I don't know, y'all. I'm having issues. I think that's why I enjoyed socks, because I could just pick one, cast it on, do it, and it was like fun. But now I'm thinking, I just think really hard about like practicality, you know, what fits in my wardrobe, what colors I'm liking right now. It's just really, really hard to make myself something at this point in time that's not socks. I'm struggling. And I love my necklace that I made, but I haven't worn it that much because I don't know what to wear under it. I mean, I could definitely wear a long sleeve under it whenever it starts getting chillier. I don't know. Now I'm just rambling. Anyways, thanks for sticking around if you made it this long. Oh yes, and I do want to say, I love looking through all your comments. I used to be really good about commenting back, and I still want to be good about that, but truly I have just gone off the rails the past few videos. Like I promise you, I do look at your comments. Y'all are all so sweet. And yeah, I definitely feel like we're a community. I see a lot of, you know, the same handles pop up on comments, so that makes me happy. So yeah, so what I'm trying to say is thank you for all your very sweet comments. I promise you I look through them. Sometimes I don't get around to responding, mostly because I got really busy and have been out of town for a while, but I want to get better at it again. So yes, I'm not ignoring you. If you leave a comment, I do see it, so thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I guess that's it. So next week, I don't know. I'm not gonna promise anything. I might be back next week with a random video. If not next week though, definitely be back the next. So yes, thank you for waiting around, sticking around. And yeah, I hope this wasn't too crazy. Like I said, I'm truly exhausted. If you can't tell, I might just cut a bunch of that out if it was too rambling. Anyways, I'm really terrible at saying goodbye, like in person as well, so this is accurate. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you have a really good day, a good week, a good month, a good year, and I hope you're enjoying fall. So yeah, I guess I'll see you next time.